Apps can do a lot of cool things. You could order dinner, gamble on your favorite team, and track your health. You could even get a mortgage. One click and you can be approved. I'm not sure by who or what country they're in. You deserve more from the mortgage industry. At AnyMac Home Mortgage, we believe in the need for live human interaction during a very complex process. The kind of service and guidance which an app simply can't provide. Our customers are more than credit scores and income documents. They're individuals and families who live in and strengthen our communities. Their story is our story, and that story begins in a home. Chris Sawyer is an expert on providing superior customer service and in meeting the mortgage needs of current and future homebuyers. With over 18 years of experience in the industry, Chris is able to help customers migrate through the home buying and home financing process by using his wealth of knowledge as a well-qualified mortgage professional. And best of all, Chris is located in Cromwell, Connecticut, where he has helped hundreds of clients in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island make their dreams of homeownership a reality. Visit chrissawyer.any-mac.com. Email him at csawyer@any-mac.com or give him a call, 860-878-8730.
Chris Sawyer, NMLS number 39345, corporate NMLS number 338923. AnyMac Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. American Neighborhood Mortgage Acceptance Company, LLC. DBA AnyMac Home Mortgage. Lo-Fi Direct. Connecticut First Mortgage Correspondent. License Lender. Broker number ML 338923. Massachusetts Mortgage Lender and Mortgage Broker License Number MC 338923. Rhode Island License Lender. License number 201128110L. Call for additional details.
Jones on first down, wide open, it's Barkley. And Saquon Barkley will take it into the end zone.
Your best ability is availability. Saquon Barkley, he's great when he's on the field, but the problem is since 2018, he hasn't been healthy for this team.
Look at this. They lob it to him. He taps it in off the glass. How about that?
Porter Moser, I think right now is the best coach of college basketball, hands down.
Fins 2 for 3. He's done his part.
Pitch is drilled to deep right field toward the pole, and it is gone.
They don't mind not being what they were in the 90s as the best organization in baseball, because the Yankees aren't even close to the best organization in baseball.
You're trying to be the Rays, and the Rays do this for a reason. Like, you're the Yankees.
Welcome to Sports Talk with R&J. I'm Steve Risser, along here with Justin D'Onofrio. And a big night tonight in the NBA, and it will start with the New York Knicks as they try to get to the second round for the second time in 23, for only the second time in 23 years. They are up on the Cavs 3-1. And the big question for the Knicks is what do the Knicks have to do to close out this series tonight? And I'll start with that. And for me, Brunson has to continue to be great. He has been outstanding in this series. It all started when he hit that huge shot in Game 1 to close out that game. And then that 3 he hit to close out the game in Game 4. He's been so good for this Knicks team all year and this series. I mean, he's proving that he could be legit. If the Knicks make a run here, he's proving he might be able to be the best player on a championship team. He has shocked everyone with the way he has played this year. I mean, they'll also need Barrett to be really good. They need Barrett to be as good as he was in Games 3 and Game 4. Barrett really stepped up in Games 3 and Game 4 for the Knicks. And that's really important, too. He's got to play the way he played in Game 3 and Game 4. And also, they got to contain Donovan Mitchell. They did a great job containing Donovan Mitchell in Game 4. Held him to 5 of 11 only 11 points, 5 of 18 shooting. He did not hit a three-point shot. They did a great job containing Mitchell in Game 4. If the Knicks do those 3 things for me, I think they have a very good chance of closing out tonight. Justin, what do the Knicks got to do to close it out?
Yeah, number one for me is continue to keep Donovan Mitchell in check. And I think it's because of the lack of three-point shooting that the Cavs have, that the Knicks kind of been able to kind of sag off some other guys, throw, a double team or that, at Mitchell. And I think that's really helped. They've really struggled to get him out, involved. And Thibodeau's just absolutely outcoached Bickerstaff of Cleveland. It's, Thibodeau's come up with some really good game plans so far. Yeah, number 2 for me, as well as your second one, was RJ Barrett. He steps up for the 3rd straight game in a row. In Game 5, hopefully he continues to play well, because the last couple of games he's looked like the guy that the Knicks were kind of hoping that he would develop into the last few years, being the number 3 overall pick. And then finally, the defense continues to just set the tone again. The Cavs are not a great 3-point shooting team, and they've kind of and they've really shown in the series. And again, the Knicks have mucked things up, but that's what Tom Thibodeau likes to do. And they've really have made this series kind of feel like a 80s, 90s, where it's a very low scoring, just ugly type of basketball game. And the Knicks are fine playing that way. And so got to continue to play that for the Knicks as well for them to close out Cleveland tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Now, the big thing is, how does Cleveland stay alive in the series? Number one, they got to contain Brunson, which they've done a hard job of doing. But number two, Donovan Mitchell's got to play like a superstar, and he clearly did not play like a superstar in Game 4. 11 points, 5 of 18 shooting, not hitting a three. You got to do your job. The Cavs did not trade for you to play the way you did in Game 4. Donovan Mitchell has got to be better. And look at his track record in the playoffs. It was not great in Utah, and it doesn't look like it's great here. So they're making Donovan Mitchell right now is making the Knicks look smart, not making that trade.
Yeah, so far they have. Jalen, especially what Jalen Brunson's been able to do, Josh Hart, RJ Barrett's looked better the last couple of nights. So yeah, that's a big one, Mitchell. But I think the Knicks have done a really good job of just kind of denying the basketball. I'm like, he did not get many touches in that second half the other night. Like the Knicks have done it. I think part of it's on Mitchell too, but I think part of it is Cleveland's got to find ways to get him open. They got to run some screens for him. They got to find some ways to get him the basketball because the Knicks are making it very tough on him to even get the basketball. And they're making it tough when he has the ball to get anything going. So some of it's on Cleveland, but I think, the Knicks deserve a lot of credit for the way they've been guarding Donovan Mitchell because, again, they realize that he's the one guy. Garland can beat them too, but Mitchell's like the one guy that could really, really beat them. And the Knicks have done a great job of making sure that that's not going to be the case in the series.
Absolutely. And you brought up Garland. And another thing for the Cavs to win tonight, they need Garland, they need LeVert to be more consistent. I mean, we know LeVert and Garland were great in Game 2, and Garland was terrible in Game 3. But he was great again in Game 4. Garland and LeVert need to be consistent for the Cavs to keep the series alive. Yeah,
they absolutely have to. They got to because especially Garland, he's got to score early. Because especially the way that Knicks been guarding Mitchell, it's been tough for him to get going. Yeah, LeVert, Garland, if they can knock down some shots early, maybe that opens some things up for Donovan Mitchell there. So yeah, I'm with you. If those two guys can get going tonight, maybe it takes some pressure off Mitchell. Maybe it makes the Knicks pay a little bit more attention to Garland and LeVert, which obviously helps out Donovan Mitchell get going.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So Knicks trying to close it out tonight. Big game between the Knicks and Cavs. But we're going to shift our attention to the Lakers, and the Lakers are also up 3-1 in their series. They're up 3-1 on the Grizzlies. And the biggest thing is, what do the Lakers have to do to close it out tonight? Number one, LeBron's going to continue to be great. He bailed out Anthony Davis the other night, getting that layup. He bailed Davis out completely. So huge play by LeBron. Number two, AD needs to be more consistent. AD got bailed out the other night. Let's be honest. AD did not have a good game. He was not good in Game 2 either. AD's proving this series why he's not a top 10 player. And LeBron bailed him out in Game 4. So AD has got to be more consistent, and they got to keep getting They got to keep getting contributions from Hachimura, keep getting contributions from Reeves, and keep getting contributions from Russell. If they do that tonight, they got a good chance to advance to the second round.
Yeah, I'm with you. One of mine tonight is that it's like for continuing to get scoring off the bench from LeBron, continue to get scoring off the bench from as you mentioned Hachimura, Beasley, a couple of those guys where it takes that load off of LeBron James, and it takes pressure off AD that he doesn't have to be the second star. Yes, you would like him to be that type of guy, but yeah, AD has looked good at times, and at other times he looks like a shell of himself. So yeah, for Lakers, it's big to kind of get that scoring off the bench. And I feel like the other one for me is they got to get a lead early, because what the Celtics did last night is you gave the team life. Now, especially you got to go to Memphis. So if you can take that crowd out of it early, and if you can have that killer instinct to go bury your opponent, you got to have that in this game. I know Game 6 would be back in LA, but you don't want to give the Memphis Grizzlies tonight a second chance in this series. You'd rather bury them tonight and put them away. So I think for the Lakers, it's kind of early on, have that killer instinct. They get ahead, put them away.
Now, for the Grizzlies to keep the series alive, obviously this is pretty obvious one. Ja's got to be great, but they got to get more consistency out of their starters. They got to get more consistency out of Bane, Jackson. I know Jackson was really good in Game 1. I know Bane was really good in Game 2, but they got to get more consistency from Bane, Jackson, and Brooks. They got to get more consistency from those guys, and their bench has got to be better too. Their bench, that's been an issue in this series, especially, and we knew it was going to be when Adams wasn't going to play, when Brendan Clark wasn't going to play. We knew that was going to be an issue in the series. They definitely got to get more consistency from their bench. Ja's got to be great to keep their season alive, and they got to be, and the other four starters got to be more consistent.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And Dylan Brooks is a big one for me. He's got,
Oh man,
the moment he called out LeBron James,
that was so stupid. We say,
yeah,
he's not into the belt. No, that was so stupid.
Yeah, that was dumb. I don't know why you'd open your mouth about that. And then he denies. Then he would not talk to the press after that game too. Like you got to answer for that when you say something. He didn't talk to the press
after Game 3 or Game 4.
Yeah, you got to talk. You know, you're gonna say something that dumb. You better answer for it when it goes wrong. But so like the big one for me is Dylan Brooks. He's got to show up. You know, he has not. He's gone cold. And then my other one is too for it's like with Morant too. They gotta knock down shots like this Saturday because the Lakers are going underneath every screen, so they're getting looks. They just have not been able to knock it down. You got to knock down your shots tonight. So, yeah, for Memphis, Morant and the rest of those guys, they got to be able to knock down shots hopefully for them early to get some confidence going.
Yeah, absolutely. And I still, right now, I know I picked the Grizzlies in 7 for the series, but I got the Lakers in 6. I don't see LeBron losing 3 games in a row in this series.
No, I don't either. I'm going to say Lakers finish it tonight. I think the way they've been playing, I'll say Lakers finish off tonight. They get some well-deserved, some rest here for, as they get ready for the Kings Warriors series or for the winner of that.
Yeah, exactly. And now we'll move on to the Kings Warriors series. And the big question for your Kings is, do they have any chance to win the series with a banged up De'Aaron Fox?
I hate to say it, but I don't think so. And I still think we're the better team with the health.
Oh, you're saying that? You have a point. You lost that game by 1 on Sunday in a game of Warriors. Yeah. It was a must-win for the Warriors.
Yeah, and we've gone below with them. And again, I don't know, because this was last Wednesday night, and Curry was saying, yeah, the Kings are only up 2-0 because of the officials, which tells me that they realize that Kings are better than them and that they're spoiled. It's a spoiled organization. It's a spoiled fan base. And most of those fans were probably Kings of San Antonio years ago. So, look, Fox and Murray, the 2 guys that showed up, and they need Sabonis. Sabonis needs to grow up and stop flopping. Him and Monk, when they go to the rack, stop trying to draw a foul, just finish a layup. I am tired of them falling on the ground. We're not getting those calls. We haven't got those calls for 4 games. It doesn't work. Go up strong. Especially Sabonis. He's been playing through injuries all year. That's why you're hurt, because you fall every single time. So the Kings, they have a chance, but they need Murray to step up as well again tonight. They need Sabonis to play well. We need like 20 and 18 from him tonight. We need something like that. We need an impressive performance from him tonight. And hopefully Monk and Kevin Huerter can knock down shots consistently. And Davion Mitchell, if he can kind of, again, keep Curry and somewhat in check, I feel like we have a chance. But that home crowd again tonight, just defend home court, because I feel like we can win this thing at 7. Like I don't think the Warriors can come into our house with a healthy Fox and beat us. Again, without, I don't know how healthy he is, because I don't know how you shoot with that splint on. But look, I think we still have a chance tonight. I do. It's going to be tough, but I think that home crowd gives them the edge tonight.
I don't think so. I know the Warriors have been absolutely terrible on the road this year, but without a healthy De'Aaron Fox, I don't think they have a chance of winning this game. Honestly, I think they have a small chance, but I definitely think the Warriors are going to win this game, and I think they're going to close it out in 6. I think the Warriors are going to close this game out in 6. I think the Kings' immaturity showed up a little bit in that game against the Warriors. They were a young team that couldn't close out. They couldn't, win a close game in Game 4. And I just don't think that the Warriors are going to lose the next 2. I think the Warriors are going to advance on to the second round and play the Lakers. I just don't see the Kings, especially with a banged up Fox. If you say even Fox is healthy, I just don't think they win Game 6 in San Francisco.
Yeah, I wonder now, because now that we know Fox is hurt, he was probably the one that was supposed to take that. If he's healthy, I wonder if Fox takes that shot and he hits it instead of Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
And I think Fox knocks that down. So, like, what I'm worried about too tonight is, look, Draymond kind of started guarding him, and I'm worried. We all know Draymond. Let's be honest. He's going to go after that finger. He's going to try to knock him out of the game. Yeah. Like, let's be honest, and that's what I'm worried about. And I hope the Kings respond to that. If that does happen, I hope there's a response, because I hope they were intimidated by that. But look, I think the Kings will win this thing at 7. I still believe it, but if not, I can't believe I'm saying this, but go Lakers. That's how much I hate
them. Really?
I hate the Warriors that much.
Yeah,
those Curry comments about the officials, in the first 2 games, which it was horrendous both ways. Like that's not the reason why the Kings were up 2-0. It's not. That's why I hope the Lakers sweep them if it happens.
Wow. That takes a lot for a Lakers fan to Kings fan to root for the Lakers after what the Lakers did to them in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah. So that's why I want the series bad. I want to kind of prove it that the ugly stepchild in the NBA can kind of beat the Kings for beat the top the Warriors been the Kings of the NBA last decade. It would be awesome to see it.
Yeah. So we got another big series. We got the Heat, surprisingly, the Heat up on the number 1 seeded Bucks 3-1. And the big question is for Milwaukee, what do they got to do to get to stay alive tonight? And I think the biggest thing is obviously Giannis has to be great, but they need to get more out of Holiday and Middleton. I think if they get more out of Holiday and Middleton and Giannis is great, I think they're going to survive tonight. But the thing is that I just think that Jimmy Butler has just been so really, really good for the Heat in this series. I think another thing they do is contain Butler, but that's so easier said than done. He had 56 points last game. He's been phenomenal. Playoff Jimmy, he's been phenomenal. Spoa, and you mentioned it the other day, Spoa is completely outcoached Mike Budenholzer in this series. But if the Bucks want to keep their season alive, they got to contain Butler. They need Middleton and Holiday to step up.
Yeah, Butler. Look, and Butler was efficient. He had 29 shots. He still scored 56 points. That's the crazy thing. It's not like he took 50 shots. He took 29. I don't. Yeah, like Spoelstra is just. He's absolutely had Budenholzer in his pocket. And I think we've talked about this. If the Nets did not get banged, if Kyrie and Harden did not get hurt in that championship series a couple years ago, the Bucks don't have that championship. There's just the Bucks kind of got a little bit lucky that year. And I know you need the luck, but let's be honest, with Budenholzer, their coach, that's a team that ain't going to the finals anytime soon. Just not.
Wow, that's a strong statement. It's a strong statement to say that. I mean, even with that's a strong statement
with the Celtics right now.
I know
the Celtics
blew
but
their
opportunity last night.
Yeah, but they still have the best player in the sport.
They do. I do. All right, maybe not zero chance, but it's not a strong chance. I don't. So I shouldn't say like a 0% chance, but it's I'll give them like maybe 10 to 15% chance. Like I don't think it's a very high chance. I'm like, this Miami team was not good all year, and they've been the better team the first 4 games, and I'm like, the Heat have not shot the ball well all year, and they've come in this series and they've shooting lights out. I know some of that is luck, but the Bucks don't guard the 3 ball at all. Like they're, when you let professional, basketball players get wide open threes, they're gonna hit them. Like some of it's on the Bucks, but yeah, some of it's kind of been some luck with the Heat. But look, they just don't guard the 3-point line. I'm like, Tyler Hero's out too. And they're still up 3-1. I know Giannis is banged up, but yeah, look, I think the Bucks win tonight, but I think the Heat close out in 6. I don't see Erik Spoelstra losing this series to Budenholzer. I just don't.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to go against playoff Jimmy, but I do think Giannis is going to take over, and I think the Bucks come back and they win the series. I really, really do. I think the Bucks come back and win the series. So if I'm the Heat, I wouldn't let them win tonight. And I think the biggest thing for the Heat tonight is have Butler be great and have other guys around Jimmy Butler step up, like Strauss, like their bench play well, like it did in Game 3, and Bam. Other guys around Butler, if the other guys like around Butler step up, I think they got a really good chance to win. But ultimately, I think Giannis doesn't lose this series. I think Giannis comes back to win. But this is going to hurt the Bucks down the road. They could lose to a team like the Knicks, and they could have a very chance. They could have a tough. They're going to be in for a tough series against the Celtics and Sixers, especially if Embiid's healthy.
Yeah, especially that definitely will hurt them on the line that they're going to have to go 7 here in the first round. And yeah, you mentioned guys stepping up. Kel Martin at 12. He's averaged double figures, this whole series. Like he's been playing well. Like if he's a guy that can knock them a couple shots and keep the pressure off of Jimmy Butler, I like the Heat's chances. Yeah, I think the Bucks kind of win tonight. I think they'll find a way tonight, but I don't think they get past. I think Miami goes down back home in Game 6 and finishes them off. I think Butler's not losing the series. The way he's playing, he ain't losing the series. I know Giannis is the best player in the world, but I know he's banged up. I just, but the Heat. I mean, the Heat have been able to kind of keep him in check a bit, and I know because it's somewhat, I know Game 4, he played pretty well, but I don't see Spoelstra losing a series to Eric Spoelstra. I don't see Spoelstra losing to Budenholzer. I don't. Again, can you send a double team at Butler or something?
I know that's the problem. Yeah, I know that's the problem. But I think eventually they're going to make adjustments. And I know I could very easily see the Heat winning the series, but I think Giannis is going to go off. I think Giannis is going to take over this series, and I think the Bucks are going to come back. I think they're going to. Might be crazy, but I do think I might be crazy saying this, but I do think the Bucks are going to come back and win this in 7.
I'm like the Bucks have the talent to do it. I just don't see it. I just don't like their defense right now. I think they dug themselves in too big of a hole, and the Heat organization again. I know the Heat didn't have a great year, but this was a team that took Boston to 7 games last year in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they lost by a possession. Like this is it's a
great organization. It's a great organization. Yeah. But I just think Giannis is going to take over. Now I could be wrong, and Butler could win, and he could go on like I said the other night, he could go on a run like the '99 Knicks did when they were the 8th seed. I could very easily see that coming. So it's going to be really interesting, but I just don't think Giannis is going to lose this series. I think Giannis is going to. I know the Bucks are down right now, but I still think Giannis is going to figure out a way to win this series.
Yeah, well, I got to see him be more aggressive. Like I know he can do it, but let's see it. Bam's a pretty good defender. We've seen Bam in the past kind of do a good job against him, but yeah, I know he's won a final, but hey, let's see what happens now that you got all this adversity on your shoulders, and that crowd tonight's gonna be a very tense crowd. They better not fall behind early, because if they fall behind early, that's I'm not saying booze, but that fan base is gonna lose interest and not, it's going to be a very quiet place in that building tonight. They go down early.
Oh, absolutely. So Trae Young kept the Hawks season alive, and we got a great matchup set in the West for the second round. But before we talk about that, we're going to hear from our friends at JPEG Financial and Shamrock Home Inspections.
Do you have a 401k and some savings for future retirement, but don't even know if it's enough to live off of? How much is enough? How often are you thinking about it? The team at JPEX Financial Group can help set your mind at ease. We specialize in creating strategies in the planning and managing of your financial, educational, and investment needs. We help clients pursue their investment goals with sound financial strategies. You deserve a personal, tailored plan. Lasting, meaningful, and open relationships are the foundation of our practice. You've worked hard for your money and should feel confident in your investment choices as you make decisions for your financial future. Your goals are our goals. We are dedicated to your needs and hopes for your future. Visit our website and give us a call at 860-430-5397. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Services Advisors, Inc. JPEX Financial Group, LLC is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. JPEX Financial Group is located at 78 Eastern Boulevard, Glastonbury, Connecticut. There's no bigger investment than home ownership. And to make sure the house is up to your standards, you need a professional to look it over. Brian Flanagan from Shamrock Home Inspections is a licensed home inspector and a member of the Connecticut Association of Home Inspectors. Brian was a contractor for over 15 years, so he knows how homes should be constructed and how mechanicals should work.
What makes me a good home inspector was the 20 years that I was a home improvement person, doing all the different repairs that I have done and what other people have done wrong that I had to go out and fix. So I have a pretty quick eye on seeing what's right and what's wrong. Before you move, call Shamrock Home Inspections.
Before you make the biggest investment of your life, call Brian Flanagan from Shamrock Home Inspections at 860-268-2566 or visit shamrockhomeinspectionct.com.
So last night, Trae Young was outstanding for the Hawks. 38 points, 13 assists, had that huge three-pointer at the end, kept their season alive, and they're going back to the ATL for a Game 6. And the big question is Justin, what do the Hawks have to do to extend the series to 7? I think they need Trae Young to continue to be great, and they also need other guys to step up around Trae Young. If those things happen, I will be shocked if we see Game 7 on Sunday in Boston.
Yeah, I'm with you. Trae Young's
or Saturday night in Boston. That's my bad there.
Yeah, if Trae Young can knock down shots, because the Celtics have kept them in check there till because I left work with like 8 minutes left and the Celtics were up 11, and I was very soon when I got home and I saw the Hawks came back and beat them. Like the Celtics done a great job keeping them in check until the fourth quarter there last night. And because Trae Young's kind of struggled in elimination games, but last night fourth quarter, the performance he put on was unbelievable. And if they get guys, Sadiq Bey had a pretty good night. Bogdanovich played pretty well as well. DeAndre Hunter, I know he had 13, but he had 27 the other day in game 4. I mean, so if the Hawks can get guys to step up, this team could score. Like the Hawks have enough offense to keep up. The problem is, could they get enough stops? Last night didn't matter. They found a way to outscore the Celtics, but Jason Tatum did not have a great closeout game. But look, I mentioned it with talking about the Lakers. You can't give a team, especially a young Hawks team like this, you can't give them life. And now you just did, and now you're playing with some fire now.
Yeah, you talked about Jason Tatum. He was not good last night, but also the Celtics. I mean, a 13-point lead with 8.5 to go. You got to close that out. And that doesn't give me confidence with the Celtics going forward. I'm telling you, what team that's in good shape right now if Embiid's healthy is the Sixers. Because you see the Celtics struggling, the Hawks, the Bucks facing elimination. The Sixers are definitely sitting pretty right now if Embiid's healthy. And for the Celtics to close this thing out on Thursday night, Tatum has got to be better. Tatum and Brown got to be like they did in Game 4, and Marcus Smart's got to be better. He can't be getting stupid technical fouls. He can't have a stupid foul there. He's got to be smarter. It's got to be smarter in those situations. He's got to be. And Joe Mazzulla, you cannot allow your team to blow a 13-point lead. That's why, honestly, I might be even leaning towards picking the Sixers if they play. If Embiid's healthy and they play, it's hard for me to pick the Sixers against the Celtics. But it's a toss-up if they play right now.
Yeah, it is. And like the thing too with the Celtics, if the Celtics won last night, that series with Sixers going to start Saturday. Embiid's wouldn't going to be totally healthy. Like you could have gotten. That's why that was a really big loss. That's why it's a big loss. Yep. Big loss last night. Yep, you could have played a game without a healthy Embiid. Yep. So that's where I do worry a little about the Celtics. I'll be honest, I still can't take the Sixers totally seriously with Doc and like the last couple of years, the way things gone there in the playoffs. Like, I hear you, like the Sixers, if Embiid's healthy, if you can get something on Harden and Baxter's played really well, I could see the Sixers knocking off. I still have a little bit of trouble believing in that Sixers team, but the way the Celtics played last night, yes, that series it's going to get a little bit more interesting now. But going back to how Boston closes out, Tatum's got to knock down a couple more shots. Defensively, you got to get back the way you're guarding Trae Young originally. They were, all over him the first couple games, even up to like that fourth quarter. I felt like they did a pretty good job against him, but he had a couple deep threes there. Again, and it's probably like that. I think you got to, you got to give him like the 94 feet kind of defending him. So, because he's a guy that can knock down a shot from 35 feet, but yeah, but the Celtics got to kind of go back to containing Trae Young, and again, hopefully they'll be able to close it out in game 6.
Yeah, we'll see, but I'm telling you, it does not look. It does not. I mean, it does not look great for the Celtics going forward, seeing that they can't hold a lead like that in a game they should win. But I do think they close it out in 6.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they bounce back. I think they close it out. I think they got a little bit more talent to the Hawks, and they'll find a way to finish them off there in game 6.
Alrighty. We'll see what happens there. Now we got a big series in the West in the next round between the Suns and the Nuggets. I mean, both teams have star power on both sides. On the Suns side, you got KD, Booker, Ayton, and CP3. On the Nuggets side, you got Jokic, and now this postseason, which has made a difference, he's playing with Jamal Murray being healthy, and he's playing with Michael Porter Jr. And I think this is going to be a great series. It's going to come right down to the end. I think it's going 7. I think this series is going 7. And I got the Suns winning it in a close one because I just think the Suns have a little bit more talent than the Nuggets. But this is going to be this is going at least 6. It's going 6 or 7 guaranteed.
Yeah, right now I got the Suns in 6. I think they close it out in home court advantage, or in game 6 on the home floor. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun series. I worry the worry I have for the Suns going in is the Clippers because Clippers made that series without Kawhi and Paul George. Like that's my worry, is where the Suns
won. I know the games were competitive, but the Suns won the games, though.
I know they won, but those things I thought were a little bit closer than they should be. Like that's my one worry. The Nuggets have more depth right now than the Clippers. Um, you know, I know the Suns can put up points, but I just worry about the Suns' depth too. I know we talked about that last week. Where are you getting production off that bench? There's not many. I know Joshua Kuja had 11 last night. Like that's nice, but again, I know Booker had 47, but I think in this series against Nuggets, that they have some more. They have a little bit more depth. A couple of those guys get in foul trouble. You could be, in a game or two, it could get a little dicey for them.
Yeah, the Suns bench has got to be better than they were, especially in the road games, because they could if they don't play well in the road games, I think they could lose the road game. So the Suns got to get more off their bench than they did in the first round.
Yeah, especially too, because up in Denver, the altitude, again, you're kind of maybe relying on a couple of those guys to play 40 minutes a night. Paul's an older guy. I know Durant's getting up there in age. Being that altitude's a little bit tougher to play. A little bit over 40 minutes, and it just kind of throwing it out there maybe. But so I think for the that could maybe make a little bit of difference. But look, I think the Suns have more talent than them, but I think the Nuggets, we'll give them a series. I think it's gonna be a hard fought series. You mentioned there's a ton of stars. Would be awesome to see the Nuggets kind of get to the conference final there and get another step closer to hopefully final for Jokic. But yeah, it's been nice to see him around, Murray, and Porter didn't have a great game last night, but guys stepped up around him and, they found a way to kind of hold off the T-Wolves there.
And this leads me to my next point. Who needs this series more, KD or Jokic, for their legacy? Who needs to make a run this year more for their legacy? I think both are under a lot of pressure. First with KD. Yeah, KD has 2 championships, but there are 2 championships on Steph Curry's team. And for Jokic, it's really been 5 years since he's been a top player in the league, and he's not been able to get to the finals. 2019, lost in Game 7 to the Blazers. 2020 in the bubble, helped pull that huge upset against the Clippers, but then lost in the first round to the they lost in the first round to the lost in the conference finals to the Lakers. 2021 did win in the first round against the Blazers, but they lost. They got swept out of the playoffs by the Suns. And then last year, without Murray and Porter Jr., they lost in 5 to the Warriors. So I think for me, I think it's Jokic. I know you can argue both players, but it's Jokic. Jokic has got to make a deep playoff run if he wants to justify being one of the top players in the league. All the top players in the NBA usually get to the NBA Finals and win championships. This is Jokic's. This is a wide open Western Conference, and even you can argue a wide open NBA this year. This is Jokic's year to lead the Nuggets to a championship. That's why he has more pressure on him than KD.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna go Durant because nobody really, and I know because I think Jokic, it'd be awesome to see him get there. I know he hasn't gotten there before, but he's playing on Denver. You always hear people kind of Durant with the Warriors and all that. Like I think because Jokic plays at Denver, and I think there's a little bit less of a hey, he's got to get to the finals. It's just like he's doing a great job with Denver. He's made him a contender. I do agree. Like, I think one of these years he has to get in the finals. But, like, I think if KD fails with this team and they don't get there, there's going to be so much kind of backlash on KD of, hey, with him, Paul, Booker, Ayton, how does the team not get to the finals? And I know the Nuggets have stars too, and they're the 1 seed, and they were one of the best teams regular season. But I think for Durant, and right now with the 12-1 kind of when he's been in there playing, since he joins the Thunder or the Suns, I think for Durant, for what happened in Brooklyn, for kind of joining the Warriors, but that kind of being more of Curry's team, kind of joining them. I think there's pressure that Durant's got to find a way to win, and he's kind of got to be the guy on that team for kind of his legacy. Again, is it totally fair? No, because he's one of the greatest players in the world. But there's been that kind of stigma on him. But look, I think that's why there's a little bit more pressure on him than there would be Jokic.
I get your point completely. I get your point. Yeah, Durant. I mean, when he won his 2 championships, he joined Steph Curry's team. I get your point. And he joined a team that was the best at the best. When he joined the Warriors, they won 73 games and he won 2 championships. But a lot of critics are saying he joined a great team. Now he joined the team with the best record in the NBA last year and the team that went to the finals 2 years ago. So I get your point with KD, but those 2 championships are still there. And you could argue he was even the best player. I mean, I know he joined Steph Curry's team and they won a championship after it, but you could argue he was the Finals MVP twice. Jokic has not gotten to the NBA Finals. And this is a major opportunity for Jokic to get there. And if he loses this series, there's going to be a lot of talk. Can Jokic win when it counts? Can Jokic win when it counts? That's why I think it's very close. But I still think Jokic has a little bit more pressure on him than Durant.
Yeah, no, I get your point. Yeah, with Jokic, I just feel like because he plays at Denver, because of what he's doing, it's not as widely. People don't widely, criticize him for not getting the team the finals. And I feel like more people do for Durant because of everything he's kind of, for the Warriors and all that. And even when he's like OKC, they got so close and he just could not get over the hump. Like maybe it's one of those things with Jokic too, like, playing a small market team, he could go to a big market and go win there, and go find a way there. And yeah, he kind of take that route. He hasn't, but yeah, and I could see why there's more pressure on Jokic to kind of have to, especially in this year, as you mentioned. Yeah, it is so wide open this year. For anybody to win it, we've seen it that there was only one sweep. Usually there's like 4 sweeps in the first round of the NBA playoffs. But I feel like too with Durant, like the West right now is also so wide open. Again, it's kind of the same thing with the, for the Suns. That the Warriors are kind of had a down year. Like the Nuggets are the 1 seed, but nobody, like, I feel like nobody I feel like people not, I feel like everybody's kind of predicting too for the Suns to win this thing and not the Nuggets. I feel like everybody's like, okay, the Nuggets have been a cute story yet again, but do we really think they can get to the finals? And I feel like too, everybody now that when Durant joined the Suns, it was like, okay, the Suns are the favorite to win the finals now.
Yeah, exactly, and we'll see what happens. I think there's more pressure on Jokic. You think there's more pressure on KD. We'll see what happens in that series. It should be very, very interesting to see what happens in that series. But we're going to wrap up the show talking about a little bit of hockey and what the hell is going on with the Rangers. They had a 2-0 lead against the Devils, a team they are definitely more talented than. I know the Devils had a better record during the regular season, but the Rangers definitely have more talent. They did not go out and get Patrick Kane. They did not go out and get Tarasenko to score 2 goals in 2 games at the Garden. I mean, listen, I still think the Rangers have the edge, but it's starting to scare me, and I'm starting to lose faith in this team winning a Stanley Cup because this is a series I thought should have been over in 5 games. 4 or 5 games this year should have been over. After watching the first 2 games, they won both games 5-1. They outscored the Devils 10-2. Then they come home and they lose both their games. Look, this is typical Rangers. Back in the old days, they used to do this, and now they're doing it, and now they're doing it this year.
Yep, and they made that rookie goaltender look like the next Marty Brodeur, which gives Rangers a lot of nightmares. He looked pretty good, but like the Devils want to play that. They were playing the Rangers game of kind of, and that's what the Devils want, like to do is kind of play that wide open hockey, long passes, kind of get on, on the rush. But the Devils have kind of mucked it up and kind of said every time the Rangers enter the Devils zone, there's 2 guys in the puck. The Rangers just can't find anything. They can't. Like the Rangers power play, it started like 5 for 8 in the first 2 games, and they had, they're 0 for since. Like they have not, credit 4 tipping goals. Like they can't get in front of the net. The Devils have done a great job defensively because again, the Devils know they're not winning the shootout like 5-4 against the Rangers. They know they're gonna have to win 2-1, and they've done a great job of doing that. And they capitalized on a couple of mistakes the other night. Jack Hughes has. He's one of the better young players in the game. And, again, Monday night was a pathetic effort. It was absolutely, their top line was
absolutely terrible. That's an inexcusable loss.
Yeah. Yeah. The top line was, that was pathetic. Zibanejad, Panarin, and Kane, they were awful. The kid line played all right. And I liked how Gallant tried to start with them to try to get that burst, but it just didn't work. So, look, for the Rangers, yeah, you got to make adjustments. I thought Gallant the first 2 games outcoached Ruff. Now Ruff's made the adjustments, and now it's back to Gallant to make his adjustments. And, let's see. And I know home ice doesn't matter, as much as it does in the other sports. And I know you're going to have, like, there's a great Ranger fan base in New Jersey the first 2 games. I expect it there tomorrow night. But, yeah, you better they better wake it up. I thought it was going to go 6. I still think it goes 6, but yeah, I'm starting to get a little worried. Now, the Hurricanes kind of blew their opportunity last night to kind of close it out as well.
They're lucky the Hurricanes lost that game at home to the Islanders. They're lucky about that because the Hurricanes would have had a lot of rest playing that rematch against the Rangers, but now they're not going to be rested either. So yeah, that definitely a rare night. Ranger fans rooted for the Ranger fans rooted for the Islanders, but they definitely helped the Rangers last night.
They definitely did. So that helps. Oh, yeah, the Bruins will look better. So yeah, look, they got to take care of the Devils first. It's gonna be tough. It's a young, like I think the Rangers, Devils, and Canes all finished. Like the Rangers finished 5 points back of the Devils, one of 6 of the Hurricanes. Like it was a very competitive division. All 3 teams are really have a ton of talent, but yeah, they got to finish now. Hopefully they can find a way. But yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking now because they really could have put them away, and you gave a young team like the Devils a lot of confidence and hope now going home.
Yeah, they gave a team that I could name 3 players on. I think Palat, because he played on Tampa last year.
Yep.
Dougie Hamilton was a former Bruin, and obviously Jack Hughes. And the team I could name 3 players on confidence. It really can't happen. You didn't go out and get Kane and Tarasenko to go to 7 games with this team. That's not the point. You got Kane and Tarasenko to compete with the Bruins. And the way things are going right now, if you play the Bruins in the conference finals, you're probably not going to get out of the 5th game. You're probably going to lose in 5 max.
No. Yeah, no, right now, no. And Bergeron, I think, is coming back for the Bruins tonight. So there's another one of their top guys going to be back in the lineup tonight. So yeah, for the Rangers, yeah, you did not get Tarasenko Kane to go out here and not play well. Like Kane played well game 2, but game 1 he was horrible. The last couple of games he's had some bad turnovers. I know he's not the same guy. He's 34, I believe. Tarasenko, I know, is getting up there in age, but yeah, you need those 2 to play well and be kind of the leader, because those 2 guys, Goodrow, are the 3 guys I believe that have won a cup. I don't think anybody else in the roster have won a Stanley Cup. Those are the 3 guys you need in that locker room to help you out and get over the hump. That's what this team wanted to do. Igor, I think, played pretty well in the series still. But look, yeah, you gotta find a way to beat this Devils team. They got a lot of good young talent, a team on the rise. They've been in rebuild here for a while. It's been 6-7 years since they've really gotten it going. But look, the young feisty team, and the Rangers have more talent than them. They got to put them away here, or go up here 3 games to 2 going back to the Garden. Hopefully, I can't see them losing 3 straight games at the Garden. I can't see it in the playoffs.
No,
because they usually play so well there.
Oh, absolutely. And they lost 2 games there. That's a shocking thing. You thought, 2-0, they're going to win this series. They're going to sweep the Devils. Now they're going to have to work to win this series. I still think they win it in 6, but it's definitely a much tougher series than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, same here. I thought the Rangers would kind of, would open the door for them. But yeah, I didn't think I'd be this worried going into Game 5 like I am right now. So I was hoping it'd be 3-1 going into New Jersey, not 2-2. But yeah, I think the Rangers put this thing away in 6. But they got to play a lot better tomorrow night. And maybe the extra day off helps them here with some of those older guys. But yeah, they got to they got to find a way here to win Game 5. They absolutely have to. They got more talent in this team. They got to make the right adjustments, and they got to, to break that kind of pressure there, you got to get some odd man rushes. You got to get some 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s. They have not gotten much of those the last 2 games.
Absolutely. So we'll wrap up talking about another Game 5 between the Panthers and Bruins tonight. And I think the Bruins do what the Celtics didn't do last night. I think they close them out. I think the Bruins are just in great shape. I think they're in great shape to make a cup run. I very easily could see the Bruins winning the Stanley Cup. And they're unlike the Rangers, they're in just such good position. And they got a team that's putting themselves in good position too with the Maple Leafs. I think the winner of that Bruins Maple Leafs series wins the cup. I think it wins the whole thing, honestly.
Really? I can see it. The Avs have not looked impressive either so far. I kind of down on the Avs. I could see it. I gotta see the Maple Leafs put a series away. I know they're in great shape, but I have to see the Maple Leafs close out the Lightning, because that's been something that's haunting them here for the last handful of years, that they cannot close out a series. But look, yeah, Toronto, with the talent they have in Matthews, Nylander, Marner, they got so much talent that, yeah, back end worries me. The goaltending's not great, but yeah, the Maple Leafs can find a way to somehow upset the Bruins. I could see them going on a run, especially the way the Hurricanes looked the first couple of games against the Islanders. They looked like a team that can make a run. I didn't like the way they played last night, but yeah, that Bruins Toronto series could get very interesting. But yeah, I'm with you. I think the Bruins put away tonight. I mentioned Bergeron's coming back tonight, or he should be back tonight. This Bruins team's just, this Bruins team's played well all year.
They're a wagon.
Yeah,
they're a wagon.
Oh yeah, yeah. That again, I said it last. I don't know. I did not think this team was going to be this good this year. I don't think anybody did. It's impressive the run that they've been on. Yeah, they close it out. They make sure they do what they do what the Celtics did didn't do last night, and they don't put another scare into that Boston fan base that I don't think they do.
No, I don't think they do either. I think they close the series out tonight. But that's going to wrap it up on Sports Talk with R&J. For Justin D'Onofrio, I'm Steve Risser. We will be back next week talking about the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, the Yankees and Red Sox, and the Kentucky Derby. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Jones on first down, wide open, it's Barkley. And Saquon Barkley will take it into the end zone.
Your best ability is availability. Saquon Barkley, he's great when he's on the field, but the problem is since 2018, he hasn't been healthy for this team.
Look at this. They lob it to him. He taps it in off the glass. How about that?
Porter Moser, I think right now is the best coach in college basketball, hands down.
Vince 2 for 3. He's done his part.
Pitch is drilled to deep right field toward the poles, and it is gone.
They don't mind not being what they were in the 90s as the best organization in baseball, because the Yankees aren't even close to the best organization in baseball.
You're trying to be the Rays, and the Rays do this for a reason. Like, you're the Yankees.
Hello, my name is Joe Aguirre. I'm the president of Clovercrest Media Group, and here at CMG we have a wide variety of podcasts, including sports shows like Keys to the City, The Roll Call, Throwing Jabs, All Four Downs, and Jawing About the G-Men, and great true crime shows like Sticky Week, Crimes and Consequences, Ivy League Murders, and Bird, the unsolved murder of David Eichmann. You can find all these podcasts and so much more by visiting clovercrestmedia.com.